Hey guys, Alyssa Dawson here for City Lights on Novus TV. If you are a lover of the Fringe Festival and are counting down the days until its return in September, your countdown just got a heck of a lot shorter. The Fringe Presents is showcasing two amazing performances this month, and we're taking you behind the scenes.
Virtual Solitaire is a play that I wrote in 1996 at the dawn of the internet age, when I was seeing technology going in directions that people weren't discussing. At least I didn't think enough. And so the concept of the play is that I sit in the computer and look out and see how technology is changing the person rather than celebrating the bells and whistles of the technology itself. It strikes me as interesting that most of our interaction with technology is done alone. I spend more time with my computer than I do with my wife.
Nathan is addicted to full immersion virtual reality. He's had the surgery, but he can't afford the bandwidth anymore, so he's working for a virtual entertainment company. They're pushing him through the prototype of their new game, where he surfs through the various characters.
Now the player would just go to whichever manhole they wanted next. I guess I'd do the Night Watchman next. It's this manhole here, so.
It's like any other night, sitting here watching the monitors, reading the Weekly World News.
Okay, so as technology is changing then, have you seen this play kind of evolve, or is it sticking status quo to what it was in 1996?
Yeah, that's interesting. It's a futuristic play, so I didn't need to change it too much. The issues that I dealt with in the play were sort of far future issues and more conceptual issues about what is privacy, what is this isolation that is being thrust upon us by technology, what are these vast new wonderful places that we can go online that enable us in ways that we've never been enabled before. But I did a lot of research. I live in Seattle, Washington, and I went to the HIT lab there, the Human Interface Technologies Laboratory at the University of Washington, and worked on some of their full immersion virtual reality machines at the time, which were cutting edge at the time. Now they would look kind of silly, I think. But I got to do virtual surgery, I got to enter virtual environments, all sorts of stuff like that. And that was a lot of fun. And it just, it hit home to me again how much this technology is absolutely changing who we are.
Do you know why I'm here? I'm a hermaphrodite.
Nathan is supposed to be able to navigate his own way through the game, but different characters start getting forced down his pipe, downloaded directly into his brain.
All right, so aside from Marathon, you are collaborating with the guy behind Virtual Solitaire. Tell me about that.
Dawson and I met each other in Adelaide in Australia in 2000, and we saw each other's work and liked it. We wanted to work together. And Dawson lives in Seattle, I live in Vancouver, very, very far away, very difficult to get to. So we traveled to Adelaide yet again this past year and started working on something new.
Tell us about Marathon, though. I know it's a bit different.
Marathon involves no technology whatsoever. It's the simplest form of theater there is. It's a person standing on stage telling a story, the way they might have done 10,000 years ago. So it's a story of discovering what my biggest blind spot is. My girlfriend and I are both students of a personality type system that not a lot of people know about. It's called the Enneagram, E-N-N-E-A, gram. The word means nine-sided shape. Enneagram posits there being 9 basic personality types, and kind of a common and ultimately not very helpful way to use it is to figure out a way to put yourself in a box, or to put your boyfriend or girlfriend in a box, or the person you don't like in a box, and say, oh, they're this type, and that explains why they do this. A more beneficial way to use it is to understand your own shadows, your own compulsions, why you keep running into dead ends, why you keep making the same mistakes. Growing up with your dad as your high school principal had certain things about it that kind of sucked, no doubt about that, but there were certain things about it that were actually pretty good. From the time I was a little kid, if I had the day off elementary school, I'd just go hang out at the high school, or after school, I'd sometimes go hang out there. I was there for a lot of the major cultural events in the school's year, and the biggest sporting event of the whole year was the track final. And that was at Swangard Stadium in Burnaby. And we learned the framework of this aspect of it called the 3 instincts. And that helped me understand one of the biggest things that has been blocking me my entire life, which is the fact that in groups, in social groups of any kind, I just don't seem to feel at home.
So in Marathon, do we see where that comes from? The root of it all?
I don't necessarily know that I could explain how it happened, but I do go into what the theory is behind it, and then what I tried to do about that. and how I tried to mitigate that. And then that all parallels stories of having been a terrible track and field runner in high school. So, when I was 13, when I finally became a student at my dad's school, when it came time to join the track team, I joined. There were no tryouts, you just joined. Come one, come all. And when it came time to specialize in an event, I chose the toughest, most prestigious event in all of track and field, race walking.
Such powerful performances. Got to give it up to my new friends TJ and Dawson behind Virtual Solitaire and Marathon. Now, the Fringe Festival itself may not be back until September, but their performances are on for a limited time only at Studio 1398 here on Granville Island. So get on down, check it out. Their performances are more than worth it. For City Lights on Novus TV, I'm Alyssa Dawson.